and welcome to ILTV's Evening Update. I'm Aaron Porras here with the latest news from Israel. The Ministerial Committee for Legislation gave its support to a new version of the nation-state bill, which revokes Arabic's official language status in the State of Israel. The committee believes that Israel is, quote, the national home of the Jewish people, and that the right to realize self-determination in the State of Israel is unique to the Jewish people, end quote. The bill will now continue to the Knesset floor for further study before it can become a law. Knesset member of the Joint Arab List Ayman Odeh calls the new Jewish state bill a, quote, declaration of war on Israeli Arabs. He writes that the danger in this law is that it enables two classes of citizens, Jewish and Arab. That being said, the bill received unanimous support in the committee, and though the vote was discussed in the beginning of the meeting, not all members even took part in it. Professor Mordechai Kremnitzer and Dr. Amir Fuchs of the Israeli Democracy Institute sent ministers a critical review, noting that, quote, the bill enshrines Jewish identity without other basic rights such as freedom of speech being enshrined in it, and that the bill considerably harms the rights of the country's minorities. Likud Knesset member Avi Dichter, who approved the nation-state bill, feels that it can be a major step in establishing the Jewish identity of Israel abroad and amongst Israelis themselves. Starting Saturday, German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier arrived in Israel for a 4-day official visit shortly after the two nations became slightly hostile towards one another. Steinmeier is scheduled to meet with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and President Reuven Rivlin, and earlier today visited the Yad Vashem Holocaust Remembrance Center, followed by giving a speech at the Hebrew University. President Steinmeier will also meet with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas in Ramallah, located in the West Bank. This will be the first time Steinmeier is visiting as president, although he has visited the State of Israel 11 times before as foreign minister. Recently, Prime Minister Netanyahu canceled his meetings with the current German Foreign Minister Sigmar Gabriel due to the fact that Gabriel met with representatives from Breaking the Silence, a group that documents testimony from ex-Israeli soldiers who have allegedly abused Palestinians, and B'Tselem, an NGO that records Jewish settlement building in Palestinian territories. The Israeli government believes that these two groups dishonor the country's image, causing controversy between the two nations. There are no plans for Steinmeier to meet with these organizations, as he does not want to increase any disputes, but instead wants to discuss the concerns that Germany has over Israel's ongoing settlement policy. Today, Israeli police have opened their first police station in East Jerusalem in a bid to bring more law and order to the city's Arab neighborhoods. Speaking at the inauguration ceremony for the police station, Jerusalem Mayor Nir Barkat said, quote, today we are celebrating an important step towards strengthening sovereignty and government in East Jerusalem, while improving services and enforcement for the benefit of all residents, end quote. Adding, quote, this step joins the revolution we've been spearheading in recent years to close the gaps in the east of the city in a wide range of areas, including education, infrastructure, welfare, and leisure, end quote. The new police station is located in the Shuafat refugee camp and is intended to be the first of several police stations designed to make law enforcement along with other municipal services more readily available to East Jerusalem's Arab residents. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is responding to claims that the police are preparing to indict him over allegations of corruption. An official statement released from the Prime Minister's office reads that, quote, after months of police leaks saying they'll recommend an indictment, does anyone imagine they'll have the courage to get off their high horse and admit that there's nothing, end quote. Netanyahu's statement comes a day after Zionist Union MK Mickey Rosenthal claimed that confidential sources had told him the police have decided to definitely recommend indicting the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is currently under several criminal investigations, including Case 1000, in which Netanyahu and his family are suspected of accepting thousands of dollars worth of gifts, including jewelry, luxury cigars, and pink champagne from Hollywood producer Arnon Milchan. Police also believe that Netanyahu's son Yair received several gifts from Australian billionaire James Packer in the form of luxury hotel stays, use of his private jet, and Mariah Carey concert tickets. The Prime Minister is also suspected of trying to use his influence to secure Packer a permanent residency status in Israel, something that is very uncommon for non-Jews without Israeli spouses. Packer now owns a house next to the Netanyahus in the city of Caesarea. The family of Ahmed Dawabsha, the sole survivor of a West Bank arson attack that killed his parents and brother in July 2015, has decided to sue the State of Israel for millions of shekels in compensation. The relatives of the family will file a complaint at the Nazareth District Court and hold a press conference alongside representatives of the Gaza-based Al-Mezan Center for Human Rights. Al-Mezan's Tafik Muhammad told Channel 2 that the reason they are suing is based on the view of the family and his group that Israel is fully responsible for the attack. The Dawabsha family blames the State of Israel for the act of terror in which members of the Dawabsha family were murdered. Mohammed states that, quote, "These governments in the West Bank did not work to apply the law in these areas from which the terrorists set out and burned to death the Dawabsha family. Therefore, the state is primarily responsible for what happened," end quote. Additionally, Defense Minister Avigdor Lieberman says that Ahmed Dawabsha will not receive compensation from the Israeli government as he does not technically qualify as a terror victim. That's all for now. Stay tuned on ILTV.tv for our main daily broadcast playing after this. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you next time with our morning briefing from Israel at 8 a.m. Eastern Time.